talk
Go
about
ahead.
playtime. Okay, so we have been talking about how, like last week I mentioned how when we kind of come in and I was like, I can't do the 9 to 5 because I got to work, and I have to have my playtime. And then you're talking about this week how you went climbing and how you found a new perspective and transversing and coming into this light. And so how do you feel about that, that thought of the more you play, the more creative you get and the more perspective, and you kind of get to see a little bit different and just kind of discloud your eyes and get a new perspective and see things differently for a little bit?
All work, no play makes for how's that saying go? All work, no play makes Jack a dull boy,
Something
boring.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Play is, and anytime you're doing exposed to nature, it's very grounding.
Yeah.
Anytime that you're out and about and mingling with other people, doing things that you love, it shifts your perspective and your awareness. It fills your heart up. It gets that passion going again. Be your own muse, kind of deal. The creativity was a thought that I came to today too, was when you get out and play, or you're doing one of your hobbies, your most favorite thing that you love to do, and you're being creative at it, that just inspires and creates more creativity, more juice,
More juice. I got
yeah,
out
more
my,
juice.
I got out my charcoal this weekend. And
Did you really?
I did. I started working on one of my drawings that I started back in January, and it came out to be something completely different than what it originally was going to be. I've shown you this one actually. Here, I'll show it to you. Give me like 2 seconds. I'm not done.
Okay. All right.
I'm not done.
I can still hear you,
All right.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I'm not done yet.
And you're adding color.
I am adding colors. So if anybody wants to know, I went on a road trip and I stopped and I started drawing what I was seeing, just kind of doing the shading part of it. And it started snowing. And so my paper got wet and it kind of just like made this whole other image that it didn't even look like it. So I came home and I started playing with it and I started creating and just using the lines that was made by the rain and stuff. And it's just kind of become its own piece. And it's like the process of it. I really have a lot of joy in my art and the process of actually drawing it out, because I'll go to pieces and I'll let it last for months and go back to it and find like a new thing out of it that I just want to add to it. And so usually a drawing of mine, it takes months and months. So yeah, talk about being creative. Oh, I love it. And I love the way this piece moved. It reminded me of the year before I went to Hawaii, and it was like my breakaway, sail, fly kind of birdie moment for, after my divorce and stuff. So I was super excited. And then while I was out there, I woke up before anybody woke up, and it was beautiful. Like this smog from the moisture in Hawaii was all over, and the mountains were so green, and just the lighting, the morning dew kind of overcast over everything. And so I started drawing. And I probably sat out there for like 3 hours. So just imagine like how much I was like, as soon as the sun started peeking over until all my friends and my brother got up. And so by the time I finished, it was like clear skies, blue, everything super bright and super beautiful. And so when I was drawing it, the first time I drew it, I kind of went through, and as the atmosphere and the environment around me changed, I changed my drawing until what it finally became. And I sat there for 3 hours just drawing and redrawing and recreating because as the clouds moved away, you could see more and more of like the landscape, and the mountains and the trees were coming out and like defining themselves. And it was just so beautiful. That's how I look at nature. I love it. That's why you find me outside all the time.
Yeah, I'm an earth cookie. I have to be outside. I gotta be. Yeah, I have to be with plants and animals. I was feeding the wild goats yesterday. That was kind of cool. And petting cats and playing with puppies. I mean, oh, and peacocks.
And
It
peacocks?
was another one. Yeah, kind of. It was the peacocks inspired me to add some blue. I looked to see if I had any really beautiful violets and purples, but I don't have none in my closet. So it was like the peacocks inspired me to wear blue tonight instead of my usual black. The peacocks were just amazing.
Oh,
I mean, they run wild on half of the island on the other side from where I live. And
fun.
I was invited to go visit a friend and it was the first time I've been to his home. And he has a home that's just as much of a paradise as the one I have. Like I said, he's on the other side of the island and I'm on the beach side and the ocean side, and he's on the harbor side.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and it was just, and I was like, I couldn't believe all the peacocks, and they're wild. They just run wild. And he puts beans out and they come up within several feet to eat and put their tail feathers up. I was just like, oh my goodness, look at that. The tail feathers, how amazing, how beautiful. You know, it was just gorgeous.
Oh,
And that's all inspiring. I mean, you can't look at a peacock and the feathers and the colors and, you know, like I said, that tail feathers when they're up,
mhm.
they're huge. I mean, they're
Yeah.
bigger than my arms when I stretch out. And that's all inspiration. That's all good food. That's good food for the soul.
Oh, that's awesome. I love finding inspiration in nature and play. I feel like this is that playful time of year, though. You know, like everybody's coming out. You were talking about that mood. Everybody's over everything. I was actually having the same exact conversation as what you're exactly saying earlier with my friend Brooke, where we were both like over the snowboarding stuff, and we're like, we're ready to play. We're ready to go outside and get some sun and have a good time. And so we all went hiking on Sunday. And the one place that we picked still had like a bunch of snow. And my friend's like, man, we should have brought our snowshoes, because we were all just wearing like, yeah, we started hiking and it wasn't like too bad. It was compacted enough that we could walk on it, but we were like, oh crap. But it was still so warm. It was so warm and beautiful. And it was so cool because you're sitting here stepping on like a foot and a half of snow that's compacted, and it's so nice out that I got my hoodie sleeves like rolled up, pushed up, and I'm sweating because it's so beautiful out. Dude, I love this time of year. And I got asked out on a date.
No way. Seriously?
Yeah.
You got a date before I did.
Dude, okay.
Rub off on me. Come on. I want you to rub off on me.
Well, I'm more of just kind of
that good juju, so that maybe I get on here in a week or two and go, guess what?
It was the first time girls asked me out on a date to go on a hike, and I was all, yeah.
That's your perfect date.
That is like, I mean, no, my perfect date is if a chick comes up to me and says, hey, you want to go climbing outside?
Oh, okay.
I'm like, yeah, that's mine. And then she brings like vegan sandwiches and snacks. That's my perfect date.
Don't forget a donut.
Yeah, an apple fritter from Voodoo Donuts, please. Even ladies seeing this, if you want to get to my heart, just bring me some coffee, good coffee.
Good coffee.
good coffee with oat milk
And Voodoo Donuts.
and an apple fritter from Voodoo Donuts, and I am good. Oh man. I actually bought my boys. So we built this thing in my house. It's 8 feet long or tall for crack climbing, to practice crack climbing. One side stays still, and then we can adjust the other side to be the depth of the crack that we want.
Is that in your doorway?
It's like right when you walk in. Yeah. You want to see
Oh,
it?
sweet.
Here, I'll show it to you. It actually kind of like from the side view, it just looks like a bookcase. So like
Okay.
here's the side view, bookcase,
Oh,
right?
got you.
Yeah, you guys get to
Right.
see my lovely, beautiful home. And then the crack. We
Oh, I
literally,
got you.
yeah, it's right here. And so we're gonna spray paint it with like a texture. And then,
Yes.
yeah. And so it has like a texture and it's not slick on our hands. So it'd be more like rocky.
Yes.
Cool, right? I'm such a dork. These are the things
That's
that
creativity. That is creativity. You're building, you're creating. You're
yeah. Oh, this one
yeah.
was all my buddy Nick, man. That was all him. The most I did was hold the boards for him. This was his project. He did such a good job. And then I got to do help him do sanding, but this was his idea. And I didn't know it was going to be staying at my house until after we got finished building it. So now I know.
Is that because he wanted it at your house or did you want it at your house?
Um, I love that it's at my house, but I thought it was going back home with them,
Uh-huh.
but they don't have the room for it. So, because it's 8 feet tall.
Well, that's beautiful.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. So another person that reached out to me this week, Ashley was like, I just saw your video on your inner child. So I did a video a while back called The Inner Child, and one of the things that I play and being your inner child is one of the things I teach my clients that are trying to figure out who they are and grow, and a lot of them are kind of hitting their awakening, and so they're changing as people and they're trying to figure out who they are. And one of the things I talk about is the inner child. So it's like finding those playful things that you still do as an adult that you did as a kid. It's kind of just like makes you have that like childlike joy. So what's yours? What's your childlike joy?
Laughter, playing with the animals. I love animals, all kinds and critters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love monkey. I love to mess with animals and play with them. I love animals. Laughter is good. I love to laugh. I love to dance. I love to dance.
What kind of dance is your favorite dance?
Okay, you're gonna laugh.
No.
Belly dance. Belly dancing.
Belly dancing? That's actually sexy. Why would I laugh? I think that's hot.
Because I have, okay, any man that's ever knows me well will know that if I'm trying to be sexy, I suck at it. I'm just hysterical. I mean, I have had my men friends and, in past relationships, seriously, they go, oh my God, please don't. You're trying to be sexy and you just, you don't pull it off. And they tell me that when I'm not even trying to be sexy, that's when I'm my most sexiest. And I'm like, really? And yeah. So belly dancing, I do it fairly well, and I do love doing it. And
well, can we see a live a belly dance now? Can we see a live belly dance right this moment? Is that in your scope? Come on, you got this. Do you want me to put some music on for you to belly dance?
No, but I do know you have. I do know you have music for belly
I do.
dance.
I bet you, I mean, I'm just glad you didn't say you wanted to do some twerking. If that was your favorite dance. So
I've tried to learn how to do that, and I can't get my butt to. I'm not. There's got to be a trick to it. And my youngest, oh no, my next to the youngest daughter, she's tried to show me how to twerk. I have tried. That is where I'm telling you, I cannot be sexy for love on purpose. I cannot twerk. It is. I'm hysterical just to watch me try to twerk.
I think
Yeah.
that there should be like a month from now, we should just, well, one, see your twerk skills. We'll do a twerk off. Your twerk against
Oh,
my,
we are going to set that out for a month so I can practice, right?
yeah, that's why I said a month, because I don't twerk. That's not how I dance. So I gotta, I mean, I can pop my booty, but I don't know how to twerk. So I know a couple of kids actually, which is weird. They could probably teach me.
There are 3-year-olds here on the island that can twerk, and I cannot twerk.
We got some laughing and love coming out from Mandy. Thank you, Mandy. That's awesome. Oh man. Let's see. You know, I say, okay, so I think since we've already discussed that that you love to belly dance, but you are awful, I think we should see this.
Well, when then I'll
Is that the best you
you got
got?
me stuttering.
Okay, we're live,
You
right?
got me all excited
Who
and
wants to
rattled.
see her belly dance? I got some votes coming on, and we'll give it a second. You know, I'm gonna look for a good song. If we have at least one
No,
person
no, no,
say
no,
yes,
no. But first of all, my camera won't move right now. Trust me, because I got you on the tablet, and not if it was on my phone, I could move it. But I promise, I will teach one movement, one belly dance movement that guaranteed every woman can do,
yeah.
and it's hot.
Oh yeah, let's see
And
it. You're gonna teach me right now because I think you should teach me right now.
no, then
Come on.
we'll do it next Monday. We'll do it next Monday.
Okay, that's official. That's on the books, guys.
Official.
Next week.
That's official. I will teach one belly dance move
I'm writing this
that
down.
everybody can learn, and it is a sexy movement, and it's very you can't go wrong with it.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
And I will make sure that the camera is set up so that you can see how to do this. Yeah.
All right, you want to hear something funny? It's kind of like belly dancing. So one of the things when I used to work with these firefighters, okay, imagine these big firefighter dudes, right? All muscly and
Right.
stuff. And it's called boneyard. It's a thing that you do to loosen up your hips and your lower back for back pain. And so I was teaching them how to do it, and it's kind of like that rotation that you do with your hips. Just imagine a room full of bunch of strapping men, all, you know, you want to see and take their clothes off because they're in their fire gear, kind of, you know, like, yeah, take your clothes off, you know, throw the money dollar bills in their drawers and stuff. But then none of them can move. It was hilarious. I loved my job because I got to watch these big guys and they're just so awkward. So maybe we should start like, this is a new career. This is a side
They
piece.
don't have no rhythm
No.
because they don't have the rhythm. You know, it's one of those white men can't jump things. You know what I mean?
It's the white boys can't dance thing.
Yeah. Don't have that. Okay.
Yeah, it's the white boys can't dance thing. Oh man. So what else what was making you joyful when you were a kid? I used to play with like big Tonka trucks, man.
Me too.
Yeah.
And mud pie and
God.
playing in the mud.
Yeah, I used to take brooms and sweep roads because I lived in the high desert in California in Hesperia, and I used to sweep these dirt roads for my big trucks to drive on to carry all my dirt. Yeah, I think that's why as an adult I still build Legos. I do.
You told me that.
Yeah.
You told me that. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's really
I know a lot of adults that build Legos. Did you know there's like these things are like some of them are like 650, almost $1,000 for these different kinds of Legos. It's
yeah.
insane. My godson
No,
loves
it's a
them.
massive business.
It
But
is.
you know what? As a mother, I have to tell you, nothing can make you scream in severe pain like stepping on one baby Lego. I am telling you,
Oh man.
make you cuss and cry tears.
Oh man.
One baby Lego.
Yeah.
And find them everywhere, all over the house. Find Legos in the couch. Find Legos everywhere but where they need to be.
My godson will come over here, and this is how my Legos adventure kind of started. He would come over and I would build the Legos and then he would play with them. So like when I first moved in this place, you can imagine it's like empty. The only thing I had when I first moved in here, because I had first me and my wife had gotten divorced, I left everything. So all I had was an air mattress and that board behind me that has all my gear on it. And so I set it up so it was like tilted so he could race his Lego cars that I made for him, like down the ramp, you know? And I went up to him and I was like, hey, I was like, I gave him one because I finished it and I walked over and I put mine down. I was like, let's race him. He goes, no. And I was like, what? He goes, no. He grabs mine and he goes, you can go play with my pirate ship. He's like, I'm playing with these. I was all, what? And he was like, yeah, I know. I was like, you little brat. So, needless to say, I didn't get to play with those Legos that time, but they're fun building, you know. Heck yeah.
Uh-huh.
How about you, Mandy? What is something that you have had in your life as a child that you still do as an adult? Or do you do that? How many people do that? It's like
What? I play with toys.
oh yeah. Man,
I play with toys,
do you have like a,
puzzles, toys, and I'm an artist.
I
I mean,
know,
I play with paint, constantly.
I
I
know.
have a portrait coming up that my landlady has commissioned me to paint her portrait.
Hmm.
And and she had asked me literally like a month or two after my surgery was done and my hand, I couldn't do it. But I picked up a paintbrush the other day and I think the girl can do it. So
Nice.
I'll be starting. So yeah, sometime here in April, I'm gonna do her portrait and start on that. Everybody send me good energy and healing because I tried practicing crocheting with this hand and I can do it for about 25 minutes. And then the needle just falls out on my hand. So I'm hoping I don't have that problem with the paintbrush. But little by little, bit by bit, poco poco,